We now know, without a doubt, that a thriving biosphere is not something unique to Rons. Both the scientific community and the public at large are eager to learn more about the various forms of alien life found throughout the galaxy. Efforts to catalog the life we encountered are already underway, but our xenobiologists have urged us to focus our planetary survey efforts on habitable, life-bearing worlds. We've honestly got more important things to worry about. Melt them down, sell them, study their construction. A discarded cargo pod was left by someone in the upper atmosphere of Aviar 2 long ago. It has somehow escaped the notice of other spacefarers, and its decaying orbit means it would have been lost to the gas giant's crushing atmosphere within another few years. When the crew of the Res Iodine unsealed the pod, they found a stash of alien jewelry made out of precious metals. Study their construction. Let's keep them. Melt the bastards down. Melt the bastards down. The Rubricator. An analysis of the ship's logs revealed that the crew met its demise when trying to retrieve an irreplaceable alien artifact for the Rubricator. It was stolen from the society by a pack of thieving rats. Curious choice of words as they themselves are most rat-like in appearance. Logs are mainly comprised of curses, linking the rat robbers to the end of the universe and beyond. The crew has counted upwards of 50 individual words in defecation, as well as a wide selection of places from which a star's light cannot escape, but their arduous work has paid off. We have uncovered the last known location of the Rubricator in a previously uncharted system, and if we are to believe its former owners, its powers are worth pursuing. We must have the Rubricator. After successfully interfacing the ancient transmission mainframe, our linguists have provided a transcript for the first broadcast. People of the Eradicating Convention, I speak with you not as a leader but as a friend and a mentor. Cannot have gone unnoticed that the days are darkening and the skies are turning bitter. Even the stars themselves are hostile. But I have faith, as our benefactors have faith in us. I have faith in our purpose. I have faith in you. For centuries, our people protected the stars from the worst of barbarian hordes. It is our destiny to save the galaxy from these malicious forces, and destiny is not outdone by a single setback. We will not be marred by the malevolent legions conspiring against us. We believe in our mission. The Eradicating Convention of Benevolence brings truth and freedom to all civilizations. It's our mission that preserves us is our fate. That allows us to triumph and thrive. We have discovered the fossilized remains of gargantuan gastropod, matching no previously encountered life form, trapped within a huge block of ice circling VTR 845. Its eyes glare fiercely ahead. Tentacles reared and muzzle twist until a gruesome grimace, as if looked in a silent shout. Creature displays no apparent signs of sapience. Unfortunately, we currently lack the technology to bring it back to life. Space! This fucking abomination. Get it the fuck out of here. Main force landing on planet 5523X. Incommon and Clue to blame. Jadba, Vuxel, and Debrak III did not survive. Pyrrhax lost 2 secondary appendages and 11 of his eyes. Remains in critical condition. Survival doubtful. Rest are fine. Waiting rescue, but surrounded by idiots. Very depressed. Sorting through the data uncovered in Ancient Station has proven a daunting task for our linguists. However, several broadcasts have been flagged as particularly revealing, with some providing a glimpse into recorded conversations. Anchor. To discuss the recent interference from the universal community, here's the most exciting Professor Akmani Sando, Doctor of All Perceived Existence. All Perceived Existence, Imakina. Most Exalted Professor, what is your interpretation of Unicom's demands? The demands are outrageous. The universal community continues to treat under civilized worlds with utmost disdain, but let me ask these self-proclaimed guardians of galactic morality. Is it not more unethical to withhold life-saving technologies? To withhold those ideals that form the cornerstone of our triumphant society? How vile would we become if we allowed a world to speed towards its own demise and not reach out to save it? Anchor. All excellent points, Doctor of All Perceived Existence. I imagine you must be equally outraged at Umicom's tampering with our destiny. Doctor. What I have to say now may shock you. Despite the stubbornness of the organization, I think an effort can be made to study Unicom's cancer. It appears the broadcast was cut off.
Construction complete.
First mate, Yadar speaking. Captain has been safely stowed in utility. Closet C. That bumbling fool is to blame for everything. I'm in command now. Chief Engineer Zarbla is working on the subspace transmitter. Without one, we will never get rescued as we're far too off the corporate trade routes. Here Vax lost another eye. Likely won't last a day. Another broadcast has been flagged as noteworthy. Although clearly a dramatic work, it does provide us with some useful context for our investigation. Ruin, it has come to my attention that you visited Entula Saman again last night. I thought you'd forsaken them in favor of our love. Ute, I assure you, it was merely a courteous visit. Know that I am committed to you, and no one else. Ruin. That is what your mouth says, but your mind, it tells me something else. Something different. Tay. No, not you too. Ruin. Yes, I too. I discovered my psionic gifts just last night, and what I imagined would be a joyful exploration of our deepest feelings became one of despair, the treason in your thoughts. Ute, you don't understand. My mind, I cannot help it. I cannot help but see this path as rational. Oh, Ruin, if only your new psionic gifts allowed you to read my heart instead of my mind. Psionic abilities. Curious. Xenophobe? I mean, what if the story is this one propaganda station pushes us to xenophile? Absolutely. Now that's a When attempting to extract an item interest from a pile of assorted bric-a-brac, Gun Odom accidentally set a junk avalanche in motion. Buried underneath it, we discovered the sooty remains of a tiny rat-like creature cradled at the bottom of a malwash from a brand common on Rons. As if shielded it from harm, amongst the clutter was also a tiny chest filled with precious alien artifacts from distant corners of the galaxy. Dancing Plague. The isolated incidents of spontaneous prolonged dancing on Sozo have escalated somewhat. Groups of hundreds of Ronzari are now compulsively dancing in a variety of different styles. Surprisingly, even those who have never shown much interest in dancing are suddenly able to perform expert moves, and the old among them have rediscovered the vigor of their youth. Although many residents are jokingly referring to it as the dancing plague, it is no joking matter. The dancers show no concern for their bodily needs and risk dancing themselves to death. Start the music. It's party time. The dancing plague has taken a turn for the worse. At first, our medics took to using heavy sedatives to stop the dancers from dancing themselves to death. However, as they themselves were increasingly affected by the symptoms, the remaining medics were unable to cope. The scores of Ronzari have collapsed from exhaustion, with more of the colonists affected by the day. This has gone far beyond the harmless joke we had thought it to be. We must take immediate action to rid ourselves of the plague once and for all. Yet another translated log. Running out of food. Ate our dead 5 cycles ago, but not enough to last us. We had to vote and decided to eat the captain. Engineer Zarbia, still working hard on substance transmitter. She assures me it is nearly complete. It looks very complex. Beervax's last secondary appendage has shriveled up and turned magenta. Death is near. Our linguists have also translated several news items. They believe this broadcast, in particular, is worth paying attention to. Reports coming in from Helios system draw an increasingly dire picture. The cowardly Sulfani Authority ambushed our brave Enlightenment forces at location Ispa. Nevertheless, our exalted leadership stated that the process will not be interrupted. As quoted, our patrons didn't give up on us, and neither shall we leave any undeveloped civilization behind. Rumors have also surfaced of the possible collaboration between the wicked barbarian authorities and representatives of Unicom. Unicom's ambassador, however, denies the interstellar communities communicated with any of the barbarian oppressors and states this is yet another instance of convenient paranoia from our exalted leadership. But with or without our powerful allies, the Sulfani Enlightenment process is in a critical state. It will not be easy to turn this around, but unfortunately, the rest of the broadcast was too corrupted to be deciphered. Our engineers have already created a copy of the database. In time, we hope to recover more information from this long-forgotten civilization. We await your findings. Dancing plague neutralized. Our researchers have finally succeeded isolating the cause of the dancing incidents on Sozo. It appears the culprit is a gas released by local vegetation, which induces feelings of exhilaration, irresistible urge to dance, while suppressing feelings of exhaustion, overriding Ronser's self-preservation instincts. Fortunately, our scientists have developed a synthetic gas that, once released in the air, will neutralize the effects of the dancing gas. Furthermore, it seems that the dancing gas has a certain valuable property we can make use of. We can extract it from the plant before it is released into the air. +3 max mining districts. Another log. From first mate Ethar. Confronted Zarbia about the subspace transmitter. Turns out she had just shoved a bunch of junk and loose cables into an empty fuel canister. She's not even a real engineer. Beervax is now leaking fluids from his mesothorax. We will surely perish soon. Envious. Transmitted log had appeared to be recorded by Uxia, the third mate. First mate Ethar committed suicide by ripping off his own antennas yesterday. Technician second class Missiva declared herself empress shortly afterwards, but food riots forced her into exile on the lower decks. Situation very bleak. Cannibalism widespread. Pure Vax has turned entirely magenta after his lower abdomen exploded yesterday. Should be dead, but is not. Now worshipped as deity by Gamma Shift. "51% stability, that means this guy hates the other guy." At the very center of the city, overlooking the main square, is a grand, ostensibly decorated palace with a garish neon sign advertising the Empress Motel. Inside it are lavish chambers filled to the brim with treasure, from which the Empress and her board of trusted advisors governed. It's also where the hoarders held their last stand, defending their Empress and her precious rubricator. With any luck, the rubricator could still be found in the usual spot, by the Emperor's lilac ribbon. One last log has been found and translated. Portal log. Officer Gilligan. Detected crash vessel on 5523X. Moved to investigate. Vessel identified as the Ravenik, a Class P modular freighter. A single survivor in critical condition is recovered from the wreckage. Identity confirmed as Purevax, boat Swain's mate. Remaining crew either perished in crash or turned on each other shortly before our arrival. As for standard protocol, I'm leaving this log here and registering the Ravenik as a protected gravesite. End recording. The Omni Codex. Aeons ago, a benevolent race of cyborgs set out to ensure the perpetuation of biological life by sampling and indexing every race in the galaxy to ensure that any extinction event need not be permeated. While their goal in galactic salvation was eventually thwarted by foolish zealots and disgusting hive mind, their legacy remains. Spawn pod from an extinct species on one of your planets. Which is good, because we're eradicators. The archaeologists were prepared to leave when they happened upon a large, hidden chamber cluttered with artifacts, gnawed bones, and a substantial amount of fresh slobber. There, under the used royal nose swab on a four-legged table with a carving of a face they confirmed was indeed funny, sat the rubricator, making of thingamajigs right where it was supposed to be, a tiny, insignificant-looking cube spewing out a continuous stream of artifacts. The rubricator is a replicator, an ingenious alien invention that can make endless copies of just about any artifact. And soon it is ours. The planet-side team will begin the journey back to the safety of the ship. Thankfully, we will never know what attacked the hoarders. The Leviathan. We are but motes of dust, found beings far surpassing anything encountered in our Empire's spacefaring history. Life capable of growing to an unprecedented scale, rivaling moons in size and mass. Nothing could have prepared us for this. This day will forever mark a turning point in the story of Ranzaran Eradicators. Let us hope we survive long enough to tell it. We will now go to war with the Gagassian High Kingdom in an attempt to eradicate them, seeing as how they have pathetic fleet flower. Seeing as how they have pathetic fleet flower. They aren't allied with anybody either.
We have declared war.
Council agenda available.
This storm is going to sit here for 25 years to just completely destroy my empire. Awesome. Good. Great.
War has been declared against us.
Oh. The Ronson Eradicators. The Juven Sovereignty. These guys? These guys. Time to engage. Their main fleet is here and ready to fight.
Hostile fleet rumbled. Enemy troops on the rocks.
Looks like we won.
Spaceborne life form encountered. Construction complete. Rocking up to enemy fleet.
Council agenda available.
Colony lost. Military station lost.
The birth of the galactic community. It doesn't look like we're gonna be there. It doesn't look like we're gonna be there to see its fruition. Xeno, scum, even in death.
Starbase lost. Hostile fleet rumbled. Colony lost. Starbase under attack. hostile fleet rumbled. Colony lost.
That's it. We're at the end. Ronzaran Eradicators. We have one purity order too many.